Everyone's ticket is in here. If you have a ticket, the other copy's in the machine. 1, 5, 8. Hey! Winner! Select one, sir. A fabulous selection. They were all the same. This is our blonde bitch in a 50 milliliter. Right. We cannot sell that. We can give it away. That's a fake label I put on it so it legally could walk out the door. Without the label, I'm breaking a federal law. With a fake label, everybody's happy. Welcome to our world.
Rum Distillery in Key West, Florida. We're becoming legal rum runners today.
Everybody gets to try one for free. Pineapple, spiced, cinnamon, barrel-aged, very bourbony. Hi, folks. Barrel-aged more like a cognac. This is aged in Pinot Noir barrels. This is Chardonnay barrels. This is coffee rum, and then finally we have an agave.
I guess I'll try the coffee.
You want to try the coffee one?
Yeah.
Nicaraguan coffee bean dark double roast. A little bit of juice. You clear your palate. The owner here is one of the top chefs on the island, so all the ingredients are going to be super pure, very high quality.
My name is Bob. Stop me anytime as I go along. If I touch base on anything you're interested in, ask me about it right then and there. And you shall be listening to a Rhode Island accent for the next 20 minutes or so. Right off the bat, talking about this room. This was the second bottling plant that Coca-Cola built in the United States after Atlanta. Built it in 1903. A matter of fact, my boss excavated some of those bottles out from under the floor. Word had gotten back to Coke that the celebratory drink in Cuba, El Libre, was being made with rum and honey. It soon became rum and Coke. What we are here, guys, is a true craft distillery. We are not trying to do a lot of rum. We're doing some very special rum. And it all boils down to several of the unique things that we do in this room. And it starts and ends with our main ingredient, if I can only find it, Demerara Sugar. We do not use molasses in our rum. Demerara is the true first pressing of the sugar cane in a crystallized form. This sugar gives us two major advantages right off the bat. A much different flavor set than a molasses-based rum, but secondly and most importantly, by using this sugar, we can come off our last still at a much lower proof and hang on to many of rum's flavors which are usually burnt off in that cycle. You would truly want to think of this as virgin olive oil, but in the sugarcane world, the true first pressing. 2.5 bags of our sugar, approximately 125 pounds, 125 gallons of water. Go into our first still and we start heating and mixing it to 140 degrees. Once we hit that number, we're going to come back here, grab one of the wash tanks, bring it over, pump everything into it, return it back here to start fermentation. Wash is to rum as mash is to whiskey. This is our growth environment for our alcohol. First problem on this side is the temperature. We use glycol commercial coolant to bring the tanks down to 85. At that point, we pitch our consuming yeast. Now, of course, if anyone's ever brewed or distilled before, this is the true magic that we want to see. This is telling us that alcohol is growing in our tanks. The yeast is consuming the sugar, producing CO2 gas and wonderful alcohol as the byproducts. Distillers will check on these tanks daily. If everything looks correct, in about 4 days, the bubbling will stop and we'll be ready to distill. At that point, we have about 6% alcohol by volume in the tubs. Now we shall roll the tub back over. Come on over, guys. We're going to strip the alcohol from the wash. Again, it's coming in a dark brown color. We're going to fill it up right to the very top, start heating it. Once we achieve 176 degrees, we will vaporize alcohol. It'll climb the copper column. At the very top, it'll be hit by an in-house closed-link cold water system. The cold plates will turn it back to fluid. And now, coming off of this still, we will have a clear, low proof rum. That's nothing that we would ever put our names on as rum, but rum it is. There are absolutely no rules in distilling rum. As long as you start with sugarcane, you will produce rum. That's why there's well over 1,500 varieties on the market, some very good, many very bad. Once this finishes up, we're going to have around 62 gallons between 55 and 60 proof. We bring it over and put it with the spirit still. This still will distill it down 6 more times on the initial pass. Again, when this one dark brown, came out low proof clear, we'll load up this one. Again, start heating it. Again, send the vapor up the copper column. But as you know, this still has 6 windowed ports. Behind each one of those windows is something called a bubble plate. Steam comes up, hits the plate, forced to make a bubble that bursts. That purified steam keeps on rising. The remnants of the bubble is removed and set back down to the bottom of the still. A true reflux still. Hence, 6-time distillation at the very top. Again, we'll hit it with the cold pipes, turning it back to fluid. And now, coming off of this still will be our base rum that we work with at approximately 145 proof. If we had used molasses in the first step, we would have to come off this second still at almost 170 proof to burn off the bitterness which is inherent to all molasses. Demerara sugar, no bitterness, lower proof, more flavor. But we're still not finished, because on top of this barrel there will be a thick shimmer of oil, common in all types of distilling, supposedly the #1 cause of hangovers. In the past, the Germans have called this booze oil or bad oil. Shine or moonshine are these oils. We utilize a 1940 filtration system where we'll take the entire 60 gallons, we'll lose 2 during that part of the distilling, we'll put it up in the chef's pot and let it gravity feed down those 2 copper lines. They are loaded with carbon pulp or activated charcoal. That will take close to 12 hours, but will eliminate 95% of said bad oil. But again, what we want to stress is all of our rum is done the same way up to this point. I guarantee you the larger distilleries do not do it this way, especially with their cheaper flavored rums. They go through a very fast, pour distillation and then flavor it with a very unique syrup, which is literally designed to mask how poorly they distill down that rum. Guys, I can give it to you in a nutshell. In the 1600s, when rum was discovered, it was truly the drink of the lower class. All they cared about was a high alcohol content and not going blind. Taste never came into play. They did not want to run stills on Caribbean islands longer than they had to. They brought it up to a high proof and then they quit. It was hideous, almost undrinkable. They had to add anything and everything they had back to it to make it palatable to drink. Welcome to the world of rum, where flavors and syrups can be added at almost any time. And we're certainly not doing it that way. So now again, at this point, we're going to decide on a flavor. The key lime, the cinnamon, the spice, we're going to put it in at high proof, work it like a vat of soup, let it sit for a couple days, cut it down to 80 proof and bottle it. And by cutting it down, we'll use filtered water. But what we enjoy doing the most, and again very unique to us, is the aging process going on behind you and around this room for our 4 premium rums. Every barrel in this one is American white oak with a 3rd-degree burn inside of each and every barrel. The most predominant wood used throughout the world by all wineries and distilleries. Common practices: when you receive a new barrel, you fill it up with water and let it swell up overnight. Last thing you want to do is use leaves an uncured barrel, you'd watch your rum disappear down the drain floor. We do not do that here. We take our new barrels, roll them 2 blocks down the street to the Gulf of Mexico, and sink them in the Gulf. And lastly, guys, with your beautiful barrel decals you're wearing, we challenge you, go out in Key West, find a great spot and put it up. If you really like it, take a picture of it for us and send it to my boss. You may be in line for a fabulous prize.
The tour guide, Bob, he was amazing, very knowledgeable, really cool guy. The whole staff is awesome. If you guys are in Key West, definitely recommend the spot. You get to have some free rum tasting. I had one with some coffee in it, super smooth. All the rum that they make here is hangover-free. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, ding the bell, get notified, because we don't stop. We put in work and you don't want to miss out.